Hello, I thought I'd get on here and do a book video. Last night, I turned on YouTube and saw that Garage Geek had done a video on 10 book covers. And then I got up today and I did a search on, some of the other participants that had done this thread. So I thought, I've got 10 book covers I can show. So I thought I'd do that. And I forget the originator's name, but if I come across it again, I'll put it below. And so far, it's been interesting to look at what other people have picked out, as their favorite book covers. But anyway, I'll go. This is The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. And I was originally drawn to it by this spine here, which you can see is kind of ornate, I guess you could say. But then it's a real thought. It's just The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, and has this pretty sort of design on it that I thought kind of resembled to me the abstraction of time, traveling through time. And yeah, this may well be one of my older books that I own, because this came out, the original Time Machine came out in 1895, I believe. But this copy here, which is by Random House, and as you can see, it has all these pretty illustrations in it. This copy came out in 1923, so that's the copyright, or this one is copyrighted 1931 by Random House. But it's a somewhat brittle copy because it's that old, but it has all these interesting little artwork in it. And of course, The Time Machine is a classic science fiction story, and but it also has other. Here's a picture of the ladies, and of the time. Of course, it starts out in Victorian times, and then the time traveler gets in his machine and goes into the future, where he meets the Eloi and the Morlocks. And goes on from there. But I don't know, I was just drawn to the art. I think this is the Morlocks here, the people that dwelled underground. And anyway, I just like the way the book looked, and of course the date on it kind of intrigued me as well. But it also has the writing in it goes from the present, which you can kind of see is in Victorian times, is in red, and then when he goes into the future, it has black text. So all in all, yeah, it was a really neat little find, I thought. This is Rip Foster Rides the Gray Planet. And it has a wraparound cover. And this is a young adult or juvenile book. I guess today we'd call it young adult literature, or YA literature. But yeah, this has some interesting little drawings in it as well. And it's just about a bunch of Marines that just get out of school, and they are going to go to an asteroid to mine it for a certain mineral. I forget what the mineral is, but they're going to like mine this asteroid for a mineral and then explode parts of the asteroid back to Earth where they can use it. Yeah, I wish I could remember what the mineral is. But anyway, there's another group who are in opposition to that called the Connies. And, you know, the word Connies has a meaning as well. But anyway, it's just about these young Marines out of school and going to go get this mineral on the asteroid. And yeah, pretty neat little book. It's real fragile. I think this copy came out in 1951. And but if interested, you can find this on Gutenberg Press if you just want to read the story. You know, and it is also on YouTube. If you just want to listen to the story, it's on there as well. But yeah, neat little book. This is a book on N.C. Wyeth, who did a lot of illustrations for young adult literature and just literature in general. And here's the back cover of it. And even though it's a small book, you see real thin, it's loaded with literature. This is by K.F. Jennings on Chartwell Books. But yeah, it has all of his illustrations in it. I'm a real big fan of like coffee table books like this one here. And I also like art books a lot because I was interested in making artwork. But N.C. Wyeth, he's just a really beautiful type painter. And of course, his kids were painters, I believe, as well, or I might be mixing him up with somebody else. But he had his own school of painters that he came from. And like I said, all of these artworks in here are really nice to look at. And kind of down my alley because they have kind of like, they're painted to where they have like stories. They're set in stories and kind of tell that story in the way they are depicted. So yeah, N.C. Wyeth. Nice thin little book, art book. Picked this up a long time ago. This is a children's book called Wolf. And as you can see, the artwork in it is very whimsical in a lot of ways. It's a real thin little book too. But I like the way this lady, her name is Sarah Fanelli, did this little book. It's very charming in its presentation. And what she did was, you know, all these are like little drawn artworks and collaged artworks that she did. Of course, there's a story that goes along with it as well. But this would be something that you'd probably read to your child at night, you know, before bedtime or something like that. But you can see where she collaged all these elements in here and then made a story to go along with it. And I found that novel and really, like I said, charming. But yeah, it's just a fun book to look at it and read. And then if you had kids, you know, you could read this to them as well. But I kind of like collage as a art form. It's a type of art form that just about anybody can, you know, get a magazine and cut stuff out of and put on a page and, you know, make some artwork out of it. So, yeah, really neat little art book called Wolf by Sarah Fanelli. This is the Encyclopedia of Science Fiction, forward by Isaac Asimov. And you can see the robot here from Forbidden Planet. And of course you got Darth Vader over here. And I think this represents 2001 with the circular space station. And then on the back, you have some other artwork as well. And one of the reasons I picked it up is because I like science fiction a lot. I like horror. I just like genre fiction and well. And, you know, now I've kind of grown into also reading biography and autobiography. Like I'm reading right now, Me by Elton John. And I like music a lot too, so that kind of fits in with it, with what I like enjoy reading now. This comes with a lot of different artworks from various science fiction. This looks like War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. And, you know, it's just packed with illustrations from various science fiction magazines early on. And, you know, a lot of different, that looks like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah. So it being, you know, art from various science fiction authors and about science fiction books and movies, you know, it's really like right down my alleyway. But this is the Encyclopedia of Science Fiction by Robert Holstock is the editor of this. And then you've got Asimov also like writing an introduction to it. So yeah, pretty neat little book on science fiction. Then, like I said, also like music a lot. And this is Myopia by Mark Mothersbaugh, who was in the band Devo. And you can see them on the back right there. But aside from being in the band Devo and being a synthesist, keyboardist, Mark is also a visual artist. And this thing here is full of his visual artwork. And so, you know, I was really interested in this type of thing. So, yeah. And he also talks about like where he comes up with certain ideas. And, you know, he was drawing these postcard type things and sending them to friends, postcard art. And a lot of it has this sort of, oh, I don't know, like sort of social commentary, you might say, I guess. And some of it's abstracted, and it's just him having fun making artwork. But yeah, if you like Devo or anything like that, this would probably be of interest to you. But yeah, Myopia by Mark Mothersbaugh. Let's see. I have to move some of this. Here's another art book. This is by Grandma Moses. It's a nice large book, although it's also kind of thin. But I have a lot of books like this that are from artists I kind of admire. And Grandma Moses is self-taught. And I forget what you call that art, but it's a certain type of artwork that is referred to people. They aren't, you know, they didn't go to a college or something to learn how to do art. They just did it on their own. And she is one of those type people that just grew up, learned to do art. It was a pastime for her. But yeah, there are all type of things that kind of relate to a rural existence one time in America. And I just love how some of these paintings that she did, and she did a lot of them, are still beautiful, even though, you know, she is self-taught or whatever. You know, a lot of these probably were put on cards or stuff at the time, but yeah. Grandma Moses. I picked this book up and I haven't read it yet. It's by J.R.R. Tolkien. And this is it's called The Children of Turin. And Tolkien had started this while he was alive, but his son Christopher finished this book here. It's got a back painting too. One of the reasons I picked it up is because it's back painting, and a lot of the interior art on this thing is done by Lee. I believe his name is, I want to say Alvin Lee, but that may not be right. But he did a lot of the artwork on the Lord of the Rings as well. So, I wish I could think of his real name or his name in here, but I don't see it real quick. But anyway, you know, it has a lot of his artwork in it and sketches. And yeah, it kind of takes place before The Hobbit and you know, Lord of the Rings and all that. It takes place in the first age of all that. And so yeah, I had heard that if you had read the Silmarillion, or there's a book of unfinished tales, that there may not be a need for this, but I found this cheap at a library sale, and I thought, man, if I want to get it, I should get it, because it wasn't much at all. But the J.R.R. Tolkien, edited by Christopher Tolkien. Children of Turin, oh, there it is. Alan Lee is his name, illustrated by Alan Lee. So, yeah. This is a big book of fantasy. Again, a nice large coffee table book on fantasy of the 20th century. An illustrated history by Randy Brockers, what it looks like. But that's the back, the front. Again, it's filled though with wonderful artwork of fantasy, you know, and then it talks about various books and such. You know, a lot of them are in color, or most of them are in color. So, yeah. I just love any type of artwork like this where, and then also you can read this and read about some of the books in here. Like this one is Almuric by Robert Howard, who did the Conan books, among other heroes. You know, and other writers. Here's one by Swordsman in the Sky by Donald Wolfheim. Of course, here's the Conan books. And just a lot of different characters and writers and all that. Here's The Thief of Baghdad. You know, it's just filled with all that type of stuff, all that type of information. Roger Zelensky, The Chronicles of Amber. So yeah, it's a way to sample different artists and different writers at the same time. This is, like I said, fantasy of the 20th century. Right here. Then my final book is by Ivaner, I believe is how he says his name, Ivaner, Mark Ivaner. And he's a comic writer himself. And this is on a guy named Jack Kirby or Jack King Kirby. But yeah, really neat book on his artwork and everything. And Mark used to work alongside Jack Kirby for a while there, you know, back in the, I would guess, 70s or 80s. Here he is at his drawing board. But it's just a really neat book on Jack Kirby if you're into comic art. That kind of looked like Captain America. No, it's The Sandman by Jack Kirby. But it's just filled with various art by him. That looks like pencil sketches. The Blue Beetle, some artwork by him. You know, so if you're interested in Jack Kirby, then, you know, this should be right down your alley. But, yeah. Fighting American. Let's try to see if I can find something in here. Well, as you know, he did a lot of characters for Marvel. One of the more famous ones is, of course, the Fantastic Four. The other would probably be Captain America. And, you know, he did a lot of writing and drawing, mostly the drawing, but he did some writing too. But, you know, I can't help but think that he helped build Marvel. There's Dr. Doom from Fantastic Four. But I can't help but think that due to Kirby that Marvel got to where they are today. But yeah, really nice coffee table book. It has a lot of artwork in it and information about Kirby. So yeah, pretty neat little book. That's all I have today. I thought I'd chime in my 2 cents on interesting hardback book covers. And hope everybody's having a good day today, and talk to you later.